lights out. Our neighbors do it. It looks so nice when we get to enjoy them and then we never do.
So how did your brother's first night on the job go? He already started New Year's Eve.
Well, I think he's got,
Hey, Jackie.
if it's not 6 arrests.
First, how we doing?
3-day break, 3 days.
Just got dinner, kids ready for their practices. Rides lined up for them to get to their.
Hey, you made it in time.
But all paperwork afterwards, you know, he gets off at like 6 a.m.
Mhm.
He didn't go.
You ready?
5:30.
Alright. Call to order the city, or the council meeting for the city of Fulton. Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem King,
Here.
Banger, Mask, here, Van Campen, Wilkin,
Here.
Boonstra,
Here.
Rundike,
Here.
Burgraff. Here.
Alright, pledge of allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Presentations, is Dan Dolan here?
He didn't cancel, but he's not here.
All right, we'll move on then. We've got some appointments that we're gonna do. We're gonna appoint Terry Boonstra to sit on the finance committee. So, and then we're gonna appoint Renee Grant to be the liquor commissioner for the city of Fulton. Okay. Tori, we're gonna do swearing in of our new police chief.
Is he really gonna swear?
Huh?
Is he really gonna swear?
I don't know, I imagine he could.
It's okay?
Huh? Yeah, that's fine.
Please raise your right hand. Do you, Chad Daniel Hermes, solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of the office to which you have been appointed, Chief of Police of the City of Fulton, to the best of your ability?
I do.
Okay. Go ahead and sign right here. And I will notarize it.
You just wait, Steve.
Heather.
Heather, you wanna come up and put his badge on him?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Maybe.
You can stick him if you want.
I thought about it. I asked him if I could.
All right, congratulations, James. Welcome back.
Yep.
Congratulations, Chad. Yeah.
We're not recognizing anybody tonight, any communication from visitors yet. Scott Hutchinson? Okay.
I'm just here for a proposal, like previous chief has mentioned it, and the city might be interested in my property. Streets and lights and windmill and all that, so
Okay,
bring it to the attention of the city.
all right. Can you get a hold of us and let us know what you want for it? Okay. Maybe just call Ally tomorrow or something. That'll work?
That'll work.
Anything else?
Nope.
All right, thank you.
Scott, are you selling the whole parcel that you own?
The only reason I would like brought it up is because it's all the commercial areas, so I would, it's either all or I'll keep it and continue to remodel, but
But you're wanting to sell the whole, all you own there?
if I do it, it's just because I'm gonna get out of it and retire and move on.
Okay.
Okay.
Otherwise, selling off a parcel, I know that the lot and my shop have already been, people have asked to buy that.
Right.
But I don't wanna sit on one thing, waiting on the rest, so.
Scott, when you submit that, would you mind giving her kind of the dimensions, like the legal of the area that you're looking to sell?
Well, I think you guys actually have the commercial plots on a map.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's all broken
Those
down.
there, okay, I just
Yeah,
don't.
I'm sure I have the legal descriptions, but on the deeds, but,
Okay, just want to be sure we were looking at the right pieces.
all right, thank you.
all right, thanks.
Thank you, Scott, have a good night.
All right, let's move on to number 8, consent agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the consent?
Second, Brondike.
All right, any questions?
I had a lot of them, so I went in and met with Ally this afternoon, so I wouldn't take up everybody's time.
Did you get them all taken care
I
of?
did. Okay.
Anybody?
I had one on the bill
Both learned
list.
a lot.
The trailer for 3D trailer and auto, what was that for, Public Works or?
Yes.
Okay.
I had a question on the special meeting minutes. It was typed in that the benefits that were offered were 80-20, and I thought we had decided that that was 90-10. I didn't know if that needed to be.
It's the same thing as what we do with the rest of the
Yeah.
employees.
Which is 80/20.
80/20.
I think it was 90-10 individual, and if it was family, it was gonna be 80-20.
It's just written in here that that was. Okay. So I guess it says 80-20 family, so that
20%
is
separate
correct.
family.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
We good?
One other question on the billing, sorry, the new furnace, the 400, was that for here?
That was for the Andreessen Center. The furnace at the Andreessen Center had a carbon monoxide leak. So we had to replace that furnace.
Okay,
And then the next bill underneath that said furnace call cleaning, is that the same furnace?
That would have been the Canyon furnace. All our furnaces had issues all in the same day.
It comes in waves.
Is that all? Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Person Brondike,
Yes.
Bergrat,
yes.
King,
Yes.
Baker, Mask,
Yes.
Van Campen, Boonstra,
Yes.
Wilkin.
Yes.
Go on to current business. Motion to approve payment to Porter Brothers for 19th Avenue and 13th Street project.
So you guys have already approved the project. This would just be first payment that we have gotten, or a first pay request we've gotten from them. So this would just be the start of payment on the 19th Avenue project.
We'll need a motion.
Is this the
Berger.
street that's not happening that part?
Bergrat is motion one.
The second
I
motion.
need a second, yeah.
I'll second that.
Okay, now, what was that part?
Is this is this the road that people are unhappy with, the way it was done down in your?
Down on 19th Avenue.
Yeah, it says 19th and 13th Street right up here.
They did some work on
People are
13th.
unhappy with?
No, that was done a couple years ago.
Oh, okay. I thought there was just somebody in here complaining about how that was done.
No, it was 8th Street that, when they did it, there was a couple things.
Oh, this, okay.
There was some questions on parking pads. If
Yeah.
they were gravel before, they got gravel again. If they were concreted or blacktopped, they got blacktopped again.
Yeah, unless
On
they,
19th.
and if there was anybody that wanted to pay extra out of their pocket to go from like the gravel to having a blacktop. Which I think we had some people do that, didn't we, or?
I know for sure one did. I think there was another one though.
Yeah, I think there was 2 of them that did it, so. Any other questions? All right, roll call, please.
Alderperson Banker, Bergrat,
Yes.
Brondike,
Yes.
Wilkin,
Yes.
Van Campen, Mask,
Yes.
Boonstra,
Yes.
King.
Yes.
I say something a minute, I think Mr. Dolan just.
Yeah. Is he? Okay.
You ready? We have Mayor Pro Tem.
Are you ready?
King.
Yes.
All right, well, we're gonna go back to presentations. Mr. Dolan's here now, so. Wherever you feel more comfortable.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I'm sorry I'm running late tonight. We've got projects in multiple places and sometimes it's quite a bit. So thank you for making time for me. I'm here tonight to request a Class A license. I'm gonna open Alana's out at my strip mall at what I call Fulton Crossing. On the south side, I'll have a drive-up window. We're to the point now, I'm told there's almost 18,000 cars a day going by there. And we gotta capitalize on that. So Sharks, if you'll work with me, no, I'm kidding.
Say 18,000 cars?
That's what somebody told me, and I haven't confirmed it with by-state. When I first got here, I was told it was 14 or 15,000 cars a day. And that was by the mayor at that time. But that was, there's people that want coffee, so we're gonna start with coffee, ice cream, and hot dogs with all the fixings. So I haven't had a food business before. The rule is get good before you get big. Once you serve something that's not good, people will lose interest on you. So I expect we'll be open about 100 hours a week. Have a total of about 4 to 5 employees. I'm expecting continued success. As you can see, we're doing well out there at the dispensary. Competition, the Quad Cities has now brought on about 3 more dispensaries, so I think we're losing some market there. But you can see we're still doing well with what we provide to the city. The cultivation center, we got our license to operate on December 9th. Plants are started, they're over 3 feet tall. We expect to be shipping product out the door the first week of April. So presently there's about the equivalent of 6 full-time employees over there. Once we get to harvest, we'll probably have another 10 employees. We'll continue to grow. We still have a lot of expansion opportunities inside the building. So there's all good things happening. I hope for continued success. I'm really happy with working with the city of Fulton. I think we've had a good run of it.
Okay.
What did you say the name of it was?
Alana, I have 5 kids, that's my littlest. Alana's Lucky Cafe, it just sounds great. Puts me in the front of the yellow pages that nobody reads anymore, so.
Dan, the Clinton Herald had wondered about doing an article on the cultivation center because there's a lot of interest. People wonder what's going on in the gargantuan-sized building. Could he reach out to you or somebody in your business that he could talk to about what the progress is to date?
Sure.
And maybe Fulton Journal is represented here tonight also. He might also be interested if you
Sure.
could touch base.
Yeah, I'll get you a card.
Public's interested in what's happening.
Yep, I don't mean to seem rude. It's so busy right now. It's just crazy. We've got just so much going on. We're building houses. The cultivation center was a whirlwind project that from the outside it probably looks slow. From the inside it was really fast. So
Any opportunity for us as alderpersons to be able to see what the operation is like?
it's a secure facility, so I'd have to defer to the state on that, the Illinois Department of Agriculture. I put in for a social security card a month ago. I am a legal American, but I can't find my social security card, and the Department of Agriculture, that's what they use as your identification. So I can't go in my own building. So I got something from, we know you contacted us. We just want to make sure it's you. I thought it was my card. No, yeah, it was me. So I've had 2 mailings from them without a card since I contacted them. So they're really strict about it, but there's got to be a way we could get that arranged. And then we'll have to put you in a hazmat suit and.
We'd appreciate it and the reason I ask is you extended that invitation to us when the dispensary opened originally, and then when the recreational one, we also
Yeah,
got a chance, the council did to go down.
yeah, no, I remember.
So we'd appreciate that if we could have that opportunity again.
And then we could walk law enforcement through there also.
Yeah, we'd welcome them to come on.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's a key part of the whole thing. So,
So you're asking for a Class A liquor license?
yes,
And it's gonna be a coffee shop?
well,
Coffee shop and
It's
hot
good.
dogs.
yeah, it's gonna, there'll be a cafe, there's a counter, you know, but it's gonna grow, you know, I have to just get started, but it seemed, I don't know what sales are gonna be,
Well, are you intending on selling alcohol, or are you more after having gaming, or?
well, gaming and alcohol, yes,
Yeah,
yeah. But, all in the same, you know, the same, but I think the drive up could just, I don't know what sales it's gonna generate, I'm told a McDonald's needs 20,000 cards to survive on a corner, and if we're at 18, I think soft serve ice cream, coffee, hot dogs, originally I wanted to have tacos and burritos, that fell through for right now, but maybe another solution shows up.
Hey Eric, I got a question. On that road that goes in front of the fire station there, that they use to go to, who maintains that? Is that the city's
It's a
road?
city road, yep.
Right, because that's deteriorating quite a bit in the last year with all that traffic through there. There's
We could actually use some TIF money to help rebuild that road.
maybe a little bit wider maybe.
So that's something we can visit here next week with the budget coming up, so we can look into that.
Because that's definitely gonna be increasing traffic, you know, especially with the drive up through there.
I can only hope so. That's what I'm hoping for.
That's
And
the
you've been
old,
in
that's
touch.
the old Highway 30.
You've been in touch with Renee on that too, I believe.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Anything else for Dan?
Well, we could talk
All
about
right,
it.
yeah, we'll get it on the agenda to talk about.
Well, thank you so much.
All right.
Thank
Sure,
you.
for you to
Thank
consider
you.
anything, Sam.
Look forward to the invitation.
Yes.
Thank you.
No, samples, we can't do samples.
We couldn't get in the first time we went either.
Did I spell this right for anonymous?
There's an H on the end. ALONAH.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Move on now. And motion to approve resolution, maintenance under the Illinois Highway Code.
Well, thanks so much. Appreciate your support.
We have a motion. Eric?
So we have to do this every year. This is just so that way we can use the MFT money we're allotted every year. And this is going to go towards our road salt purchase, cold patch, some sidewalk work. And it's also going to go for repaving 14th Street from 7th Avenue to 14th Avenue. And then a little bit in front of the elementary school. So that's what we're planning on using our MFT funds for this upcoming year.
I'm glad to hear 14th Street. I use that a lot because that's about the
It
only
needs
true
it.
street. North and south.
What street in front of the elementary school are you talking about?
7th Avenue.
Okay, good. Oh, it's so bad.
It's just one of many.
Yeah, I know.
That one's traveled a lot every
Yes.
day.
Any other questions? Any questions for Eric?
So like the road salt allotment, if we don't end up using all that, can you redistribute those funds to a different project?
So yes and no. The only downside to road salt is we have to take either 80 or 120% of what I ask for. So like this year, I have asked for 550 ton, but last year I asked for 800 ton. And then we're actually paying to store salt somewhere else because we have nowhere to store it right now. So
That's what I wondered.
I brought it down, but it also hasn't been a bad winter, so I'm still not sure where I'm gonna put all the salt yet.
Right.
So that's why we're looking into a new salt shed, but unfortunately, that stuff takes a little bit of time to work through, so.
And we're all hoping you don't have to use salt.
Well, I'm hoping, but I also hope I can, so I can get rid of it.
Yeah.
Alright, anything else? Roll call, please.
Alderperson King,
Yes.
Banker, Mask,
Here.
Berggraf,
Yes, I'm here.
Yes.
Van Campen, Wilken,
Yes.
Leestra,
Yes.
Sirdike,
Yes.
Alright, number 11, it's a motion to appoint and approve the FOP negotiation team to consist of Eric Sikkema, Ally Hamlin, myself, Mindy Berggraf, and Chad Hermes. This is something we talked about last meeting. We just gotta approve it.
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second the motion.
Any questions? Roll call?
Alderperson Boonstra,
Yes.
Wilken,
Yes.
Banker, Mask,
Yes.
Van Campen, Berggraf,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Sirdike.
Yes.
Alright, now we'll go into committee of the whole. To discuss the grow facility license fees. Ordinance 1672, amending chapter 119 of the Fulton Code of Ordinances for regulation of recreational cannabis and cannabis business establishments. This will decide after the budget is complete. This is the decision.
So it looks like there's 5 licenses out there, and they all sit at $10,000 a piece right now. My understanding is this is our opportunity to raise that if we wanna make that consideration, so that we can use it in this budget year. And it looks like they renew every year, so I would assume we'd have that opportunity next year as well if we didn't do something this year, wherever we're. But I didn't know if it was possible to get data on something like this. I mean, I know.
We need to try to see what other communities are doing, because, you know, we have that right to raise it every year. That's the original agreement, that we can raise it every year.
Yeah, it's just hard to know what's reasonable or what's
Right.
unreasonable.
So also under our cannabis licensing and the regulation of it, we do have the ability to raise our percentage rate that we would get back by 1/4% up to 3%.
Of the sales tax part?
So
Oh,
what
didn't
we,
know
cause
that.
that's, we get 1% of what they gross right now. So we do have the opportunity to raise that 1/4%. I mean, we can raise it until we hit 3%, and that's it, that's where we max out. So, I mean, just something to keep in mind, if this is something we'd wanna do, I believe we have to have it done by April, is that right, Rebecca?
I would have to check.
Yeah, I that seemed to stick out in my head. I think if we decide to do it, we would have to have that approved by April, so that way we can let Department of Revenue know.
I think it's important that we max out whatever the state of Illinois allows us to do it, because the whole purpose of bringing all that in was for it to generate revenue for us. So we want to max out whatever the state of Illinois will allow us.
You can only raise it 1/4% at a time. You
Right.
can't immediately go from the what we're
1
currently
to 3.
charging all the way up to the 3.
So you could do a 1/4% every year for the next few years until we max out, so.
Yeah.
It is an option, not saying you have to use it, but that is an option for us.
Well, we'll want to do it, because that's why we got involved in a dispensary business, was to make money for the city.
Just make it, does it just have to be, does it have to be an ordinance change or just?
Yes. I mean, there would-
So Ally, if you could get us
I don't
what other
believe that
communities
we
are
need
doing, I don't know
to-
who the source would be to get that, but
Okay.
trust that you'll find that and give us something,
To vote on next.
see what other communities are doing with that.
Might need to look into it.
I know Rock Island is maxed out at 3% already.
And Dan alluded to that, and we've known that as these other dispensaries open, that we're not gonna see additional growth there in the volume. So if we can maximize it, make some more money off what they are selling, because there's more and more dispensaries coming up, getting licensed. So, yeah, sounds good. We'll look forward to getting that information.
Anybody else?
Is there like any certain time frame that we have to work within, or at any time can we just do it?
They were just
I
saying
think,
April.
if I remember reading it right, we have to decide by the beginning of April, so that way the Department of Revenue can make that adjustment in our payment. But I would have to double check on that, but I'm almost positive it is in April. We would have to have a decision, so that way we can send them what we would need, or what they would need to know.
Could we have like the numbers that they're currently doing, so then if we tack on that extra, would our extra?
I can have that for our budget meeting on Monday.
Yeah.
Yep.
Be good.
Yep.
Because did we have to start at 1%? Is that why we're at 1? I mean, what's the
That's
history?
what we're at. Why they chose 1%, that I don't know, but I just assumed that had something to do with the state. You know, you start at 1%, then you can grow from that point, but I'm not sure on that one.
It was interesting with the dispensary, our first go round with the medical, we had to decide if we were going to add a tax or not, and we had to make that decision before we even made the decision whether we were gonna have one or not. So we thought, well, in case we do, let's add it, and was told we were grateful that we did that. So that medical one, there is no sales tax. We can get the 3% off the recreational. So we'll wanna max out whenever we can, whatever the state allows us to do.
Is that it?
Mhm.
All right, we'll move on. We're gonna discuss Main Street traffic count for considering a one-way or two-way on, I think, 4th Street.
Okay, so these numbers were provided to me from IDOT. These numbers were taken in 2023. So going northbound on 4th Street off of 14th Avenue, traffic count was 3,000 for a day. Going south off of the bridge on 4th Street was 4,050. On 14th Avenue, going west, so towards Clinton, it was 10,500. And going east, so coming into town, was 7,500.
Can we have all that?
Yep. Which one did you need first?
Just get it to us, you know.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
So we have it. Well, I was the one that at the last meeting brought up about talking about the one-way and the two-way, because I live on 10th, and so I take 5th Street a lot to go to Clinton. And I sit on 14th Avenue there for quite a few minutes, just trying to get on by myself. And there really isn't anybody around me at the time. So when you think of that many thousands of people that are going to, if the one-way is gonna go from south to north, all the people from the 4th Ward and the 3rd Ward, the 1st Ward are gonna have to be, at the stop sign, diverted over to 5th to get on 14th. It won't go that
I
way.
think we discussed it being did we discuss it being 2 ways until the first block? Or would it be, it would have to be.
Yeah, so
you could essentially come down 5th.
Right, so
take a
4th
right
Street from
to the light.
14th to 13th would still be two-way, and then you would
Yes.
have to, if you chose to, you could dive off either to 3rd Street or 5th Street, however you
But keep going straight, cause
or keep going straight
down to
to
the
bring you
light.
straight into
then when
downtown.
you're trying to get, say, onto 14th, if you didn't wanna go down 5th all the way, cause it was hard, you could get back over to 4th and wait at the light, or, you know, so.
It's still thousands of cars every day doing that. That no longer would then be going down Main Street, they would be on 5th Street.
But I think, I don't know, I think most of the residential people are passing by, they're not necessarily, I don't know. I'd rather see the one-way, of course, going north into town than
I know as
the way it used
safety.
to be. Do not enter.
It was more
We
of
don't
a
want
safety
the orange barrel
thing
back,
that,
for sure.
Nick had pointed out when he was still here, he had pointed out trying to get onto 4th Street, you know, like from 12th Avenue. 11th Avenue is not so bad because that's a controlled intersection. But I know at 12th Avenue, it can be a little dicey at times when you get a bunch of cars there and you're trying to sneak out, but you can't really see what's coming at you. So I think he had alluded to that more as a safety thing for the city, but I mean, ultimately, it's your guys' decision on if you want it one way coming north, keep it a two-way. I mean, however you guys wanna do it.
I think we ought to start the discussion. I think the public would like to have some input, and especially the business owners on Main Street, you know, give an opportunity for them to express their opinion as well. Not only the business owners, but the business property owners, have at least a
I know,
chance to.
I know when we were meeting with downtown business owners, there for the first few months, it was, I would say they were leaning more towards a one-way coming north. I mean, that was just kind of what I took out of the meeting.
I think everybody, as a business owner myself, ultimately wants more parking. And
Right.
one way allows more parking spots. I believe it was 9 to 10 more parking spaces.
Per block, yeah.
It was
And
like, I was like 16 total going
Yes.
north, and it was like 9 or 10 if you did a south
Yeah.
way.
Just quick, is that changing it to diagonal parking on both sides?
yeah,
I mean, that honestly makes the most sense for traffic.
and I'll never forget Nick saying too, like, it is an opportunity to create a safer environment down there, because if we keep it exactly the way it is, it's not going to fix the issues with big vehicles trying to squeeze in there on both sides and someone backing out and you approaching, and you know, that won't change. And we do have the opportunity to change that safety hazard with a one-way, so.
Bigger vehicles are a problem.
They are, and that wouldn't change no matter how we did it with a two-way. So. But I don't know that we have it in our plans either to do that Fifth Avenue or Third Avenue Road exiting, and that does need to be another phase of the plan, big picture that we have to think about as well.
So Third Street is a part of that big picture plan.
Like phase 3,
I think it's phase 2 if I remember
Is it?
right,
Okay.
I think. I'd have to go back on the plans, but I think that was part of phase 2 was to redo Third. But, I mean, it's something that's still doable.
yeah, I just think it's an important piece of the whole
Yeah.
project that we can't get Fourth done and then forget or
Right.
stop.
I
We
agree.
do have to finish
Yep.
either Third or Fifth as a nice road out for
Now
people
you're
living on the
Is that
north
talking
end.
making Third a one-way going south then, or
No,
north?
that'll
I don't know
still,
that
that'll
it-
still have to be a two-way
It would
because
still
of
be
the
a
fertilizer plant.
But it would just have to be redone,
Yeah,
right, with sidewalks and
It needs
curbs and all that
resurface,
kind of
yeah.
stuff.
It's
Heavily
wider,
traveled.
yeah, but it doesn't have the other,
Which would also be really nice for festivals. Just saying, like to have that, another nice road for vendors and
okay.
people coming to our things. Because that
We're
road
gonna
isn't
continue
in the
that
best shape.
discussion, right, Eric? We're gonna
What's that?
continue that discussion and.
I'm actually meeting with Matt Hansen from Willett Hoffman to go over a few more things because we want to try and get at least the sidewalk portion out for bid. So that way we can get that started sooner than later. And then still fingers crossed, we hear back on the downtown redevelopment if we get that. But at least we're moving forward with this and then we can say for sure something is gonna happen this summer.
I'm assuming no word from the grant.
Nothing
No.
yet.
I did check with April last week and.
I looked online today and I didn't see anything.
I figured you'd be very excited to share if we had.
Okay, so we just wanna continue this on for discussion.
Yeah, and I think somehow we get the public, at least show them what we're talking about. Annika, maybe you can do that for us in the journal, just so the public knows what, they have a chance to at least respond to it.
I mean, even just
We can do a Facebook post too, and just put it out there on
some of the
Facebook.
pictures maybe of
Or
the
on the website too, Tori
one
said.
way.
So we do have that rendition, I think, that we've watched.
Right, the 3D video.
I don't know if that's something we can share. If that's-
I'll have to ask Matt to see if we could somehow maybe get that on our website, like just a
Still,
link.
yeah, I don't know. It was
Just
just a
the-
video.
Yeah, it's just the video showing essentially what the downtown will look like completely done. I'll ask him.
And Matt would also be a good resource to ask what's going on with other communities. What are other people doing now? What are they doing the one way? They were still two.
I mean, I feel like that's kind of a case by case basis, town by town basis, so.
Could be.
You know.
And I'm sure it
we have a
depends
bridge
what
coming right
space
off
they're
of
dealing
here.
with as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Maybe get business owners along 4th Street there.
Yeah.
I know we were invited in the very beginning. I went to a couple and then meetings kind of stopped. And I know I've had other downtown business owners say, so what's the deal? We went to 2 meetings and we have no idea what's going on now. And
Maybe
like,
we
is
can
it happening? Is it not?
Maybe we
Like,
can, well, at that point, I think we should set up a meeting because it is,
yeah, and I don't know who orchestrated that at first.
Wendy did. But I think I have most everybody's email. I could try and set something up here in the near future.
Since things have gotten a little more, because it was more, do you like this or do you like that?
Right.
Like, say,
It's a
this
little-
is what we have.
It's a lot more well defined now.
Yes.
Can you set that up, Eric?
Yep.
All right.
And then maybe even just some tentative dates, tying,
Yeah.
you know, a timeline to the project, like,
I should know
Sure.
more after Thursday,
yeah.
like on timelines and whatnot.
Okay.
Great.
Anything else? All right, let's move on. Next item up for discussion is ordinance 1636, specifically the Ken Damhoff property. Adam's not here.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping Adam was gonna be here to run a little bit of this by him. I was just kind of running through it, and it does look like there is some confusion between the 3 days or 7, when they talk about the 72 hours in the ordinance, but they told him 7 days. So I don't know what the miscommunication was there, but. And then we don't address the tarping situation. I don't know if we need to be that specific in the ordinance or not, but if we're gonna find him for it, I would say it needs to be in the ordinance.
Yeah.
Can someone explain to me what this?
Okay, Ken Damhoff lives on 6th and 17th Avenue. He's on the corner right there. He's got 2 big covered trailers that sit
Just like
in.
open trailers? Like
No, they're covered. It's an enclosed
an
trailer.
enclosed trailer, okay.
It's an enclosed trailer. He used to race cars, and I think
Okay.
a lot of what's in there, it's what he used to haul his race cars with, but a lot of it in there now is parts and stuff like that he stores in there. But he's had them parked for as long as I can remember. They've been parked beside his house in his property there, and it's kind of back to where it's, correct me if I'm wrong on that, Dwayne, isn't it back towards, it's not really past the front of the house, right?
No, I think it's
what's on the side of his house.
It's on the side.
Here's a
And-
photo.
Yeah. She's got a
Oh,
photo
can I
of
see
it.
that?
So I kind of made some notes on there about what he was disgruntled about and what the ordinance reads, just so
When
we
was this
can-
even brought up?
You weren't here that meeting.
Oh, was it the meeting I was gone?
He was
Okay.
here and he was,
So, here's the house. And then there's the 2 trailers right there. And see, they're back, but they're not licensed or up to date on their license plates.
Which that
It's
does
almost
state
just
that.
like
Yeah,
a
that's-
storage container
Yeah.
right
That
now.
does state in section E that the license plates and display titles shall be current and properly displayed.
Yeah.
So he should have, and it says also that it has to be maintained in a mobile condition.
Well, I know they've
If it's
been
got flat
mobile.
tires, if it doesn't have current plates, that's,
Current plates would be the issue. Mobile, he did move them, so. He had moved them to the, over on this side, on the 6th Street side. Now I think they're back to where they were, if I remember right, when I went by the other day.
They're on the east side of his house.
Yep.
so he
They're-
just has to
East
move him.
side.
They're back on the east
It's where you
side.
get the substation.
He just has to move him a little bit. He doesn't have to relocate him, he just has to move him a little bit.
Well, the issue is they're not licensed.
Yeah,
They're
that's one of the big issues.
That's our issue with him. That's
But,
not, his issue is that he thinks they should be
Yeah.
just left alone.
Well, I kind of highlighted what his issue was. He was frustrated because it said that they had to be moved every 7 days and they had to be tarped, and he didn't see that in the ordinance when he read through it. And I agree with him, the part about tarp is not in there. It does say 72 hours, every 72 hours they have to be moved. So I think if we're saying 7 days, we do need to update the ordinance to 7 days. And if not, then we need to give them the correct number of days, which is 72 hours or 3 days.
Yeah.
And then the second part of it was,
I think some confusion with that might be the 72 hours is usually on the street. I don't know about in the yard, so I'd have to double check on that. But I know for on the street, it's 72.
It says city roadways
Yeah.
or city easements
Yeah.
for more than 72
If they're
hours.
listed the same as campers, I know Adam was saying they either have to have gravel or concrete under them, and I know the issue with his side yard is that
This was in his yard.
there's grass growing up around the trailers, so there's nothing under them, so I don't know, I'd have to talk to Adam if that pertains to actually just trailers or actually campers or whatever, but the other issue with Adam had is because there was grass growing up around the trailers, he maintains the yard, but he doesn't maintain around that.
gotcha,
So that was another issue he was talking to him about.
yeah. And if the 7 days is a different situation than the street, then we probably just need to address that in the ordinance if that's how we're gonna follow up on it. So I think we could probably default this to Adam and have him do some work on it and draft up a option for us to look at the next meeting. You guys good with that?
Yeah. That, because if he drafts it up, then we can discuss more when he's here. Some of the issues
Right.
everybody's got questions on.
And we could discuss that also at a public safety committee meeting. That'd be a good thing to send that way together, more information so we have.
I just wanted him to know that we had addressed it, because we didn't really have a response for him the night that he was in here, so.
We'll let them know tomorrow.
All right. Anything else? All right, we're skipping over 4. Number 5 is, discuss condemned property located at 517 12th Avenue.
I did see the chimneys now.
That fell down on its own.
I was wondering.
What is the status of that?
Eric?
All that neighborhood house.
I know a little bit, Rebecca will probably be able to elaborate a lot more than I will. So letters have been sent to the bank and to the property owner. The bank has said they do not want it. So then it defaults back to the property owner, and the property owner has yet to respond. And it's been, I'd have to go back and look, but I think they were supposed to respond by the beginning of December, if I remember correctly. So that's where Adam wanted some direction on if, does the city want to try and take this back? But from what I'm reading from what Rebecca sent, it'll take some money on the city's part to make this all happen.
So the options are you could do a condemnation proceeding, but that's basically an eminent domain proceeding. So you're taking it, you're paying the owner for the property. And then you're still having the tear down cost. The other option is to proceed under a different section of the state statute, which is where we take the owner to court and either have the judge order them to take down the property at their expense, or if that's going to fail, to get the city in order so that the city can remove the deteriorated structure, and then the city would then have, the owner would still own the lot, but the city would have a lien for our costs against the property. So if the owner went to then subsequently sell the lot, we would at least be able to collect some of the money that we expended taking it down. There is a third option here that I didn't put here, but since we have an unresponsive owner, that would be to just approach the owner about just a straight up sale of the property for some nominal amount, whether they'd agree to that or not.
Well, I don't think we should buy it. I like option 2.
So what's the timeline, like if we do that, they get ordered to take it down, they don't, so we can replace the lien? I mean, they cannot sell it for 10 years and we sit there with the debts. Okay.
What's your opinion, Rebecca, in the best interest of the taxpayer?
My opinion is that you're probably not gonna get any cooperation from the owner, and there hasn't been any at this point, so you're probably better proceeding against them to get a court order to have the property removed, whether the judge orders them to do that or we get the order.
Well, did we have a similar situation on 4th Street? just recently with that property on the 4th and 12th?
We did, but the owner removed it.
Yep.
They weren't unresponsive.
Yeah, they've pretty much been unresponsive and said we don't want anything to do with it, so.
I can tell you conversations
We have to motivate
between
them.
their lender, the lender walked away from the mortgage, there was a mortgage on this property, they just released the property, they walked away. They were not communicating with their lender at all either. So they've been unresponsive with everybody.
They still owe quite a bit on the property, and they pretty much said, well, just let it go back to the bank, but the bank has been there to view it and says, well, you know, this is no use to us because it needs so much work. You know, we're not gonna, you know, push through with foreclosure, so now it's unfortunately up to the city to decide what we wanna do with it.
Is it a buildable lot size? Like, would someone be able to rebuild there? Because that would almost
I mean,
make
yeah, you
sense.
could, but it would not be a very big house because it is a very small lot. I wanna say it's a 48 by 112 would be my guess without actually looking at it. So I mean, it's not a huge lot, but.
Because rather than wait on them to sell their land after we knock the house down and to recover our lien.
You can't foreclose on the lien.
You can foreclose on the lien, okay.
Are they current on taxes?
I have not looked to see if it's current on the taxes at this point. Probably not.
Are we gonna, if
Buy
the
the
city
tax
gets it,
lien.
are we gonna get stuck with the tax liability as well?
Well, I mean, right now, what I'm talking about, you wouldn't actually get the title to it. The property owner would still have the title to it, what we would have it is a lien, although we may
Just
be
a-
behind the tax lien if they have not paid the taxes. I have not looked to see if they paid the last tax installment.
Is there any merit in having a conversation with the owners, or have we done that and they've just been?
I have not
We had,
communicated
Eric, has there been a?
this was
I know it-
mainly through the police department.
I know Adam has had conversations with them. It doesn't sound like they're really wanting to work with anything, cause I mean, essentially what I gathered is they were not gonna do anything with the property. Just kinda let it go. But at
That's
this,
not an option.
but yeah, at this point, it's become a safety hazard.
Yes.
You know, obviously, thankfully, not thankfully, the chimney did fall, but it was in threat of falling for a long time. And I mean, we had to mow the property over the summertime and cut down all the trees around the house. And so, I mean, at this point, you know, I don't foresee them doing anything with it. I think we're gonna have to force the issue with them, and we're gonna have to, you know, either we do eminent domain and just take it from them, or I don't feel we should offer them anything for it, cause it's really not worth anything. And then now, so then you're out the cost of buying it, now you have to pay to have everything taken down and removed. So it's just, you know, our expense just keeps adding up. I feel like we should either go eminent domain or, you know, we take them to court.
Well, I like Rebecca's recommendation that we do, but it's a real blemish in the neighborhood. So I just think we have an obligation to try to move on it.
Is this something that's gonna have to have asbestos removed out of it? I mean, are we
If I
looking-
had to guess, I would say yes, probably,
So
but I don't know.
there's
that for a
another
fact.
cost if we do.
Yep.
So. Should we
Yeah,
care-
since it's not our property, we can't get on there to actually see what the inside looks like. So unfortunately, well, you'd have to wait until you get the property to go into the home, figure out what kind of asbestos may or may not be in there. But I mean, looking at the home, I would say there's a pretty good chance there's asbestos in there.
But that's also an expense that we can recoup from them, even, you know, like she said,
We can attempt.
yeah.
We'll get a portion of that lien.
Portion.
Yeah.
It would depend what you would be able to actually, if they ultimately sold the lot, or if we foreclosed on the lot, and what we were able to sell the lot for, as to what portion of that expense you would recoup.
Do we know what it costs to take a house down?
I mean, when we took this part of City Hall down, it was around 10,000. And there's quite a bit of brick on that, so I'm gonna say it's probably not gonna be too far off of what that was. So that's just my guess, because that is a a completely brick home, like it's 2 or 3 layers of brick. So it'll be heavy.
So should we get an estimate of what it would cost to tear down and maybe a realtor recommendation on what we could sell the lot for and just to get numbers?
I can get an estimate on taking it down. Come back at the next meeting with something.
And, what value will the lot really have if it's so small that they can't?
Yeah, I mean, you're probably, I mean, I'm just guessing 10 to 15,000 maybe if you're lucky.
We talk to the neighbors to see.
The neighbors probably
You might.
You probably would buy it just so nobody could build on it again.
See if they wanna make your yard bigger.
Yeah, that's all it would be worth.
It's disappointing because the property really has some genuine historic
Well, and
significance.
if you
but
could get the adjacent property owner to sell his lot along with that, I think it would be more enticing, but I don't think he's gonna sell it. But
Maybe he wants to buy that.
and he might, yeah.
Oh, I would think somebody
Is
in the
the
neighborhood would buy
barn
it just to
included
protect.
with the house?
What's that?
The barn is with
Yeah,
the house, and
yes.
that would be torn down with the
That
house.
used to be, that was a manufacturing, that's where the historic part comes, really is in that garage, the things that were created in that garage. But it's beyond,
Beyond repair at this point.
that's right.
So you wanna carry this discussion over?
Yes, I would like to see us get more information before we make a decision. I still like Rebecca's recommendation, but let's look at everything.
All right. Anybody else? Okay, just a reminder about the January budget workshop on the 20th at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m., excuse me, and the 3rd of February at 6 p.m. So everybody's aware.
That's the same night as our council meeting.
Nope.
No. It's a week from today.
First Monday.
Council's 2 weeks.
Yeah, and then the 3rd would be the 1st.
We'll just see each other a lot of Mondays coming.
Lots of time together.
And I'm leaving for San Diego tomorrow morning, and then I'm coming back Sunday night, Monday morning, so I'll be really tired by the time I get back here.
All right, then discuss the marine appraisal, if we received it.
Haven't received anything yet.
Okay.
Maybe I'll try and touch base with Keith and see where he's at on it, just to see
Is the right time because there's nothing for him to compare it to? Is that part of it?
That would be my guess, but I don't know that for a fact. I can't imagine there's a ton of comparables out there when it comes to marinas, but maybe I'll just touch base with them and see.
Who's doing
Is it Keith Norman?
Keith Norman, yep.
Oh,
Okay. So we'll continue that on.
Keep it on the agenda.
Yeah. And then now to number 8, review and discuss international zoning code, excuse me. That would be Adam.
I did look at some of that, like I said I was gonna do. I was unable to get a copy online, but I read some excerpts, and what the most interesting part was the parts I got to read from other cities and townships that are utilizing it, so I'm on board with Adam and Eric, that yeah, that's probably worth adopting. It's just modernized signage and stuff like that. So.
Yes, essentially what we already have on the books will stay the same.
Yep.
It's just updating some verbiage when it comes to like what you can and can't do with signs in front of your business. But it does define out more like property lines. Like if somebody were to come in and say, well, I want to plot out 6 lots. Well, you can go in there and it tells you, well, they have to be X size per lot in order to meet the new requirements. So there are some things that it does clean up, which will be nice, so.
Do we currently have an ordinance about signs now?
A vague one, yes.
Because I noticed, obviously, we all notice all the commercial advertisements on the fence there.
Yes, and that would actually be addressed within this new zoning code.
I think a lot of people talk about it because there's, in the past, been an ordinance on signs here, and somebody, sold like arts and crafts things in their home, and they had a little sign this big in their front yard, and they had to take it down because you couldn't have it on private property, and yet these are, so maybe there will be a clarification.
There definitely is some clarification in there when it comes to signs on businesses and people's personal property and how much.
It's on property.
How much you can cover of a window in a business, I mean, it's kind of all spelled out in there.
Anything else? We'll go on to committee reports. Finance Committee, any questions on that one?
Just continue to get more information.
Personnel Committee, is there any questions on that?
Well, the big deal is the new chief.
Okay. And then Liquor Committee. Any questions on
We
that
haven't
one?
met. We haven't met.
I just included the minutes.
From the previous one, but we haven't met.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
you've
one of
actually
those.
had a meeting before the last time we met, but I was late getting them in, so.
Okay, any questions on those minutes? Alright. All the way down to Historic Society report.
That's, of course, included here. It's our financial monthly report. And we're closed in the month of December and January, but we remain very busy because people are still looking for information. So we're still busy.
Okay. Any other questions? Business managers report. Any questions for Ally?
Can you speak to the compliance website updates and the state mandated trainings that you spoke about?
Yeah, the IML provides guidance as far as what we need to have on our website. So I have a list of those, like things with IMRF, salaries, budgets, that sort of thing. State mandated trainings, just making sure we are all up to date on our sexual harassment training. There's like cybersecurity training, those types of things.
Just list them out, it says that they've been taken.
How's it going getting like the website, the new website loaded up and all that?
Oh, yeah, it's going well.
It's good.
I will probably need to pay for a few more hours on the website.
Any other questions for Ally?
Well, it's nice to have her here.
Yeah.
Yeah, in full capacity.
How's it going?
Busy.
First 2 weeks alone?
Yeah. It's okay, I'm gonna make it.
We'll count those.
Community Service Officers report. Questions, I guess I'll have to go to Chad or Dwayne because Adam's not here.
If it's not on that paper that's in there, I can't give you any more than what that is.
How's your onboarding going, Chad?
It's been interesting. Most of the programs are easy. Right now we're having a couple car issues again, but it's ongoing.
They don't like the cold weather any better than you do.
Technology, technology, yeah, so we'll get through it, but it's just gonna take a little bit. But so far, so good.
Anything else? Can I get a motion to go into closed session?
Need a motion to adjourn the regular meeting.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can I get a motion to adjourn from the regular meeting?
Welcome.
Mask. What kind of mask?
Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Alderperson Mask,
Yes.
Zylstra,
Yes.
Baker, Brondike,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Walton,
Yes.
McCampbell, Bergrad.
Yes.
Now can I get a motion to go into closed session? Roll call, please.
Alderperson Bergrad,
Yes.
Wilkin,
Yes.
Baker, Nass,
Yes.
Boonstra,
Yes.
King,
Yes.
Van Campen, Brondike.
Yes.